What's up, guys? Brian here with the Barbell Spin. Thanks for giving me a few extra minutes. Had to restart the computer. Uh, Reason I wanted to jump on this morning is we have the heat schedule for the North America East semifinal starting next week. And while we have the team workouts released, we have the first three workouts for the individuals. We don't have all the details of when all these athletes are taking place other than the day blocks. And we also don't have what we think is the last three workouts for the individuals. So before we do that, I want to give a shout out to Travis at Vindicate. He, this morning, he upped the discount to 15% when you use the promo code SPIN on vindicate.com. He has a bunch of stuff out there, so go check it out after this show. Shop, men's, women's, great gear. All of the shirts that I wear when I'm out at competitions, the real Brian shirt, all of that was made by Travis. So make sure after this, check them out. Go save 15% when you use promo code SPIN. All right. To the actual information I want to cover. All right. So the semifinal workouts, we have, again, only three workouts for the individuals has been released. We are expecting three more probably this afternoon. Don't know. At the latest, it will be tomorrow. Um, and so, we have these three workouts. If you listen to Savon's podcast with Brian Friend earlier this morning, he's hoping that we may have a two-part workout. When you look at what I've gotten from the heat schedules, I'm not sure, but we do have a glimpse into some additional information. So I published an article this morning on thebarbellspin.com, North America East semifinal heat times. So let's take a look at what this has, what it shows. Maybe it does give a glimpse into what we can expect as we don't have all the information right now. So the first thing that we have is the time domains for workouts 4, 5, and 6. If you look at the first three workouts, and when you look at these heat schedules, you will see that there's 4 minutes between the time cap and the heat length. So, for example, the which one workout is it? So, skipping ahead to Friday, when you see this first heat, it's a 30-minute time cap, but they're giving 34 minutes for the entire heat. And so what we can take from that is all three workouts that have been released have that 4 minute gap between the time cap and the total length of the heat. And looking at workouts 4, 5, and 6, we know that the athletes will be taking the floor 6 times. We don't know if one of those has a two-part workout, but like workout 4 has 18 minutes per heat. So based on the first three, we would expect a 14-minute time cap. Athletes will not be out there any longer than that. Workout 5 is 20 minutes. So again, a 16-minute cap on the time that athletes are out there. If I was going to make a guess, if there's any chance that we're going to see a two-part workout where there's two scored events within one time on the floor, it would be workout number 5, which would be Sunday morning. And on workout 6, we've come to accustomed to the last workout being a very short sprint type workout in regionals, etc. So this one, again, it's very short. It's a 10-minute heat. So something like a 6-minute time cap. Top athletes probably finish in 3 or 4 minutes. So we do have some information on this. So when they do release the workouts, I'm really expecting to see a 14, 16, and a 6-minute time cap for those workouts. They could surprise me with that workout 5 and having a two-parter that may be, something shorter in that range. So so that that gives us a little bit of information on that. The other thing that's interesting, at least for North America East, I imagine it's going to be the same for North America West and Europe. Is there are actually multiple competition floors uh, in Orlando. So if you look at what was given to the athletes, this one right here, number 5, that's the primary floor. That's where you'd expect. It looks like the very similar setup at the top. It looks like it has the rig in the drawing, and then the bottom has like the mats, the finish line, and you have bleachers all on 3 sides of it. Pretty much what we come to expect at a regional or semifinal event. But if you go to the left corner here, that's a secondary comp floor, and it's much shorter. Uh, and if you may not be able to see it on this right now with the resolution, but there are 20 lanes on here. And so when you start looking at the uh, the heats, you'll see that whenever these athletes and teams are out here on this secondary comp floor, they're going to add more athletes to each heat. So fewer heats, more athletes on there. I think it only is 3 times, once for the teams and twice for the individuals. This one though, there's only one set of bleachers out here to the right. Underneath it is vendor village. So it could be a situation where there's a lot of athletes out there, but less ability for, if you're in person, to actually visit and spectate there. So keep in mind, if you are going to be down in Orlando, if you do want to see some of those workouts, you may have to get there a little bit early, maybe miss something from the prior workout that was on the primary floor. So um, yeah, so team workout number 3 and individual workout number 1 on Friday morning are all on um, the secondary comp floor. If you recall, workout number 1 for the individuals is the 3 machines and the hand over hand pull. So they're going to have fewer heats in that one, 20 athletes each for the individuals. For the teams, it's going to be 20 teams each. So only 2 heats when you think about the team's standpoint. Uh, if you are looking for Linda on Saturday morning, workout number 3, that one is also in the secondary comp floor. So again, while it's a longer workout, you're only going to have 3 heats for the individuals. Kind of speed things up and take advantage of additional lanes on those that competition floor. Um, Moving on, yeah. So I mentioned the number of heats. So it does change that. All right. So if you are planning on being in Orlando, here's what you need to know. Thursday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern, the very first athletes hit the floor for the team competition. Individuals do not compete on Friday. And so you'll see here, primary field of play, the primary competition floor starts at 1 p.m. and then it'll take a break for the first heat, and then the second event will then take place later that afternoon. So between 1 and 5 Eastern time, if you're in person, that's when you need to be at the venue. For everybody else who's watching the live stream, plan on blocking off that 4 hours, because that's when you're going to want to tune in. All right. Um, Going down to Friday. So the competition begins every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. And you'll see here on Friday that the teams start off the day on the secondary floor. Only 2 heats, like I mentioned. So 20 teams in heat 1, 20 teams in heat 2. They'll take a break, and then the individual athletes will then take the floor. They're also, again, on that secondary floor. The events run through 6:45 that evening, so a very long day Friday. Saturday is about the same. The teams will end the day at 6:40. That's the end of the competition for the teams on Saturday. And so after that, there will be the award ceremony and saying which of the 10 teams from North America East qualify for the CrossFit Games. And then on Sunday, again, another 9 a.m. start time. You'll see the 6 heats here, 20 minutes, as I mentioned earlier. So you'd expect something in the 16-minute time range for a time cap. And then you have a couple breaks, and then the final workout, which again, it's a very short workout, 10 minutes for each heat. They like to have it 4 minutes designated to get athletes on and off the floor. So very quick, fast end to the weekend. So if you want to take a look at this, it's on the barbellspin.com. You can then save that, get ready for it. As far as I can tell, the athletes in weeks 2 and 3 do not have access to this yet. So there could be slight variations in the schedules in North America West and in Europe, but for what's coming up next weekend, North America East, this is what you need to focus on is this heat schedule and start to block off some time so you can capture and start watching some of the best athletes in the East, which make sure you tune in tonight at 7:30 Eastern. We are going live again to give our picks on who we think will be qualifying out of North America East. So be sure to tune in on that. Hit the notify button on YouTube so you don't miss it this evening. But you'll get all of our picks on who we think will be making it to the games out of Orlando next weekend. All right, guys. That is it. Thanks for joining. We now have a schedule. We'll wait for the actual workout details later this afternoon, hopefully, and we'll then start to weigh in later this evening. Thanks, guys.